just read an article about the most beautiful Phalaenopsis orchids in the world. Do you know which ones are considered the most beautiful right now?
Phalaenopsis orchids are among the most loved flowers, my dear. There are so many breathtaking varieties. Let me share with you the top 5 most beautiful Phalaenopsis orchids right now. The first one I want to introduce to you is Phalaenopsis Amabilis. This is the most common and beloved Phalaenopsis orchid, my dear. It's often called the Queen of Orchids, and it's no coincidence that it has that nickname. Its petals are pure white, symbolizing purity and perfection. Each petal is broad and thick, feeling almost like porcelain, yet soft to the touch. This orchid is also famous for its long-lasting blooms. When properly cared for, its flowers can last for up to 3 months, maintaining their pristine beauty. Phalaenopsis amabilis is also one of the most adaptable orchid species. It thrives in a variety of environmental conditions, from the humid tropical forests of Southeast Asia to more temperate climates. This adaptability is thanks to its robust root system, which efficiently absorbs water and nutrients. The roots of Phalaenopsis amabilis also have a special protective layer, which helps it withstand temporary dryness and keeps the plant hydrated. But what's truly special about Phalaenopsis amabilis is its rich history. For hundreds of years, this orchid has been cultivated in royal palaces across Asia, especially in China and Japan. There, it wasn't just seen as a decorative flower, but as a symbol of nobility and refinement. It's believed that growing Phalaenopsis amabilis in palaces wasn't only to honor nature's beauty but also to attract luck and prosperity. And that's just one of the beautiful orchids. There's so much more to discover about other varieties, and we'll explore them right now. Next, we have Phalaenopsis Sanderiana, one of the most vibrant and captivating orchids. Known as the pink Phalaenopsis, Sanderiana stands out with its soft pink petals, delicate like the morning dew. This pink not only enchants but also evokes a sense of youthfulness and femininity, like a fresh breeze in a colorful garden. Phalaenopsis Sanderiana originates from the Philippines, where it often grows wild on tall trees in the tropical rainforests. In its natural habitat, this orchid tends to grow in large clusters, creating a stunning floral display in the wild. What's special about Sanderiana is that its leaves are not only long and slender but also speckled with silver spots on the upper surface, giving it a unique beauty even when it's not in bloom.
You're right, the silver speckles on the leaves make it look so unique, almost like a natural work of art. I've never seen an orchid with such distinctive leaves before.
Sanderiana is one of the easier orchids to grow and care for, especially indoors. However, to help it thrive and produce the best blooms, you need to pay attention to a few factors. This orchid does best with indirect light, like near a window with curtains. Too much direct sunlight can scorch the leaves, but too little light will reduce the number of blooms. High humidity and good air circulation are also important to keep Sanderiana thriving.
What about watering? Do Phalaenopsis orchids need to be watered frequently? I'm worried that overwatering might cause root rot.
That's right, watering Phalaenopsis orchids needs to be done carefully. Overwatering can lead to root rot, especially with orchids like Sanderiana. You should water when the soil feels slightly dry, but don't let it get too dry. A handy tip is to check the weight of the pot. If it feels lighter than usual, it's time to water. When Phalaenopsis Sanderiana blooms, it usually does so in clusters, with pale pink flowers releasing a gentle, sweet fragrance. The scent of Sanderiana is often described as similar to marshmallows, creating a relaxing and comforting atmosphere, especially when placed in the living room or office. The flowers can bloom continuously for several weeks, even months if well cared for, creating a stunning sight every time you walk into the room.
A gentle marshmallow-like fragrance. That sounds wonderful. I can imagine waking up each morning, stepping into the living room, and feeling that sweet scent fill the air.
Another interesting fact about Phalaenopsis Sanderiana is that it's not only beautiful but also carries significant historical value. Since its discovery in the 19th century, this orchid has become one of the most beloved varieties in Europe. It's often used for decoration in festivals, weddings, and other important events. The bright pink of Sanderiana is seen as a symbol of love and romance, making it a top choice for special occasions. Sanderiana is truly a great choice for orchid lovers, especially beginners. Its charming colors, sweet fragrance, and ease of care make it one of the most popular and worthwhile orchids to grow. But that's not all, we still have more orchids to explore.
I can't wait to hear more about the other orchids you're going to introduce. Each flower has its own beauty and story, it's so fascinating.
Now, let's explore one of the most unique orchids in the Phalaenopsis family, Phalaenopsis Bellina, often called the green Phalaenopsis. What makes Bellina stand out right from the start is its color. Unlike most orchids with bright hues, Bellina features a fresh and mysterious green, as if it's been dyed by the very colors of the tropical forests where it thrives. Phalaenopsis bellina originates from Southeast Asia, particularly Malaysia and Borneo. In these tropical rainforests, Bellina clings to large trees, where it absorbs the filtered light that passes through the dense canopy. Bellina's structure is quite special, with broad, thick, and glossy leaves that help the plant retain water and resist dehydration during dry spells. The petals of Bellina are unlike any other orchid. They're usually rounded, with gently curved edges, creating a look that's both strong and delicate. Although Phalaenopsis bellina has a unique appearance, it's actually quite easy to grow with the right care. Bellina prefers gentle, filtered light, similar to the light that passes through the forest canopy. This means placing it near a window with indirect light is ideal. One thing to note is that Bellina needs high humidity to thrive. You might consider placing the pot on a tray of water to keep the air around the plant moist, but be careful not to let the roots sit in the water. For Bellina, you need to water it regularly but not too frequently. It's best to let the soil dry out slightly between waterings, but don't let the plant get too dry. One thing to note is that Bellina doesn't like to be wet at night, so it's best to water it early in the morning, giving the plant time to dry before evening. Also, make sure the plant is in a pot with good drainage to avoid root rot. One of the most fascinating aspects of Phalaenopsis bellina is that its flowers can subtly change color as the light shifts throughout the day. In the morning, the petals might appear a fresh green, but by the afternoon, this green can transition to a pale bluish hue, almost silvery. This color change creates a stunning visual effect, keeping bellina always fresh and mesmerizing. Phalaenopsis bellina is not only special in color but also holds deep historical and cultural significance. In many parts of Southeast Asia, Bellina is seen as a symbol of perseverance and resilience, due to its strong survival ability in harsh conditions. Bellina is indeed one of the most unique orchids, not just in color but also in its meaning and value. With its ease of care and good adaptability, Bellina is definitely a perfect choice for any orchid lover. But there are still many more fascinating orchids that we'll explore next.
I'm really looking forward to hearing about the other orchids. Bellina has shown that each orchid carries a special story, and I'm sure the next ones won't disappoint.
Now we move on to one of the most striking and enchanting orchids in the Phalaenopsis family, Phalaenopsis violacea, also known as the purple Phalaenopsis. The deep purple of violacea not only captures attention at first glance but also evokes a sense of mystery and elegance, as if it holds the secrets of the entire tropical forest. Phalaenopsis violacea originates from the tropical rainforests of Malaysia and Sumatra, where the humid climate and stable temperatures year-round create ideal conditions for its growth. Unlike many other orchids, violacea has thick, glossy petals that protect the flower from harsh environmental elements like heavy rain or intense sun. Another unique feature is that this orchid can bloom year-round, with each flowering phase lasting several weeks, accompanied by a sweet and alluring fragrance.
Blooming year-round? That's really impressive. It's not just the color, but also the fragrance that's so captivating. What does it smell like?
Yes, the fragrance of Phalaenopsis violacea is truly one of its most alluring features. It has a sweet scent, like a mix of marshmallows and ripe fruits. This not only makes violacea visually striking but also turns the surrounding space into something much more inviting and pleasant. To help violacea thrive and bloom year-round, you need to pay attention to a few key factors. This orchid requires moderate light, similar to the dappled sunlight it receives in its natural tropical forest habitat, not too harsh but not too dim either. You should place it where it gets indirect light, like near a window with a sheer curtain. Another important aspect is temperature. Violacea thrives best in warm conditions, between 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, high humidity is crucial to keep the plant healthy and vibrant. Violacea needs to be watered regularly, but you must ensure that the roots never stay submerged for too long. A good tip is to use a pot with a good drainage system and a well-aerated potting mix. You should also water in the morning so that the plant has time to dry out during the day, preventing water from sitting overnight, which helps prevent root rot. Another special aspect of Phalaenopsis violacea is the subtle color change as the light shifts throughout the day. In the morning, the petals may display a bright purple hue, but by evening, this color deepens to a more mysterious shade of purple. This transformation makes Violacea a unique orchid, constantly offering something new and surprising to its grower. Not only is it visually stunning and sweetly fragrant, but Phalaenopsis violacea also holds significant historical and cultural value. In some regions of Southeast Asia, this orchid is seen as a symbol of perseverance and loyalty. It's believed that growing Violacea in your home not only adds beauty but also attracts good luck and prosperity. This makes it a great choice not just for decoration, but also for bringing spiritual value. Violacea is truly one of the most unique and impressive orchids we can grow. From its color and fragrance to its cultural value, everything about it makes it special. But our journey of discovering beautiful orchids isn't over yet. We have one more orchid to explore.
I can't wait to learn about the next orchid. Each one has given me a new feeling, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about them.
Finally, we arrive at one of the most delicate and graceful orchids in the Phalaenopsis family, Phalaenopsis Sanderiana, also known as the soft pink Phalaenopsis. The gentle pink of this orchid is like cherry blossoms in the spring breeze, creating a beauty that is both elegant and pure. This is the perfect orchid to conclude our exploration. Phalaenopsis Sanderiana originates from the tropical rainforests of the Philippines, where the humid and stable climate year-round has allowed this orchid to thrive. Sanderiana typically grows on tall tree trunks, where it can absorb indirect sunlight through the dense forest canopy. One of the standout features of Sanderiana is its large, glossy, dark green leaves, which create a beautiful contrast with its soft pink petals. The structure of this orchid is also unique, with broad and thick petals that can retain water and withstand temporary dry conditions. Although Sanderiana may look delicate, it's actually quite resilient if cared for properly. When watering, make sure the water doesn't sit on the leaves or petals for too long, as this can lead to leaf rot. It's best to water in the early morning so the plant has time to dry out before nightfall. Also, remember to adjust your watering schedule depending on the season. Reduce watering in the winter when temperatures are lower and humidity is higher. One of the highlights of Phalaenopsis Sanderiana is its delicate and gentle way of blooming. The flowers of Sanderiana typically open slowly, petal by petal, as if each bloom is gradually welcoming the sunlight. The soft pink of the flowers can also subtly change under different lighting conditions, from a pale pink in the morning to a warmer pink in the afternoon. This is truly an orchid that brings a gentle and inspiring beauty. Phalaenopsis Sanderiana is not only visually stunning but also carries a rich history and cultural significance. In Europe, particularly in the 19th century, Sanderiana became one of the most beloved orchids in palaces and grand estates. These soft pink flowers were often used to adorn parties and important events, symbolizing elegance and sophistication. Today, Sanderiana retains its value as a symbol of love, purity, and romance. Sanderiana is truly a special orchid to conclude our exploration today. With its subtle colors, gentle beauty, and historical value, Sanderiana is a top choice for anyone who appreciates elegance and sophistication in their garden. But our journey of caring for and loving these flowers has only just begun, my dear.
Yes, each orchid brings a different feeling, and I'm so glad to have had the chance to explore them with you. I can't wait to start growing and caring for these orchids so I can enjoy their wonderful beauty every day.
So we've explored 5 of the most beautiful Phalaenopsis orchids today, each with its own unique beauty and story.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next videos.
And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We're looking forward to hearing from you and we'll try to respond as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.